If you're new to the channel, we talk all about the Detroit Lions. Make sure you subscribe because these next couple weeks and months are going to get crazy with the combine, free agency, the draft, mini camps, all that. So leading into free agency, a lot of different things going on out there of these big name guys, $50 million. And look, we've put out videos about it as well. Some big names you could get, some things you could do. Now this video is about, like, let's just be real. we know that Brad Holmes is not going to spend big money. He's going to be very selective and very strategic. So let's look at 4 realistic free agents and just kind of what that looks like. And just because they're realistic doesn't mean they're not still really good. First one's a perfect example of that. You see him right there, Zadarius Smith, and he is a guy that was just a stud for the Packers for a few years, but this guy's not getting enough attention. He had 15 and a half sacks the last 2 seasons. Now he's 33 years old, and that's kind of why he's more realistic, right? He's going to be an older option that the Lions could bring in and hope that he can give one more good solid year alongside or opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. So that one I like. Let me know your in the comments on these, kind of which one out of these 4 you think would be just most realistic and one that you would want. But I like this one a lot because you're getting a productive player and a guy that knows how to win, but you're going to get him at less expensive because he is 33 years old. So remember, Julian Acquire's already gone. Romeo's going. Charles Harris. I mean, we need new guys. We need new guys at the defensive end because those guys, they might work. I could see those guys working in other places a little bit better. It's not working here. They need to go. Okay, Arthur Mallett of the Ravens. This guy looks like he's 50, but a corner, 30-year-old, okay, corner. He's coming off his best overall NFL season. Now, this is a guy that you're not going to know much about. That's the whole point of this list, is like the Lions are never going to go for that first wave of high-end free agents. It's going to be guys like this. So he's a 30-year-old guy that has experience playing outside corner. He can play man, zone, slot. He can do a lot of different things. And so we're not looking at this guy for our number 1 corner spot. It's just a depth piece, because again, Will Harris is probably gone. Maybe not. I mean, the guy's been, he never goes away. So maybe he's not, but you've got Will Harris. You've got some other guys that could be moving on. So this is more of a depth piece, where Chase Lucas is, or, that's where we're looking at this guy. So keep an eye on him. Next one, Evan Brown. What's up, Evan? Good to see you, buddy. Evan Brown started 28 games in Detroit for 21 and 22 as guard and center, constantly in there as we had a lot of injuries throughout his time. Brown left Seattle as a free agent a year ago and started 16 games for them, 15 at center and 1 at left guard. Now he's a free agent once again, and he could come back. And this one I love. You kind of forget about him. He's the perfect piece. He's exactly what we need at that guard center, can rotate, knows the offense. Like, I could see us going and getting him. Now, Fairburn, kicker for the Texans. The Lions have burned through kickers over the Dan Campbell era, and Michael Badgley 2.0 experience apiece, the latest one that is over. Yeah, it's weird because for whatever reason, right? Patterson, I thought was fine, but then they go get Badgley, but then they trade Patterson, but then Badgley's back, and I don't even know, right? It's just been like, what's wrong with Patterson? I like Patterson. And then it's like, what's wrong with Badgley? Is there anything wrong with him? And I don't fully understand it, just straight up, because something's up because Dan Campbell doesn't use kickers. When most teams like kick it, right? Inside the 35, kick it. I get why Dan Campbell is aggressive in certain spots, but I also think something about the kicker plays into that too. So it's an opportunity for us to get a proven upgrade, 30-year-old, one of the best reliable kickers from distance. He was 19 of 24 beyond 50 last season and has made a 61-yard kick. He has experience kicking in a dome in the playoffs too. Thank you. Like, that's the one area in that Brad Holmes has just not been able to get. That and backup quarterback, right? Which we finally got the backup quarterback things figured out. But look, you can't overhaul an entire team all at once. There's just going to be areas, and that's just one of them. Like kicker, you would just like it if our kicker was better, and wouldn't everybody, right? But if they had just like the stud kicker, but I feel like we are in the bottom third of kickers where we don't trust our kicker, and that's a big one. So keep an eye on that. Another one that I love here. Shout out to Pride of Detroit. Just a quick little nugget. They did an article. Where has Zack Zenner been up? What's he been up to? No offense to Zack Zenner, but just how crazy and how far the roster has come, because this dude's in there. Man, we all loved him. He was a little bit of a pop when he would come in. Like, that's how bad the roster was. I mean, again, no offense to him, but that's how bad the roster was. He'd come in, we're like, let's go, Zenner. We're 1-8 and just hoping for anything. Oh, geez. So here's what he said. According to an interview in 2023, this is what he's been up to. So for about 4 months after taking the MCAT, I realized I didn't want to go to medical school anymore. My oldest son was about 1.5 at the time. My wife and I are expecting a second son. I expected to play at least a few more years in the league. And then middle school is 7 years minimum. I don't want to miss the opportunity of watching my children grow up. Because remember, he was going to be a doctor, but then it's like football. What's he going to do? So today, he's a sports nutrition consultant company called Zion Performance, which allows Zenner to integrate his background in psychology, medicine, and nutrition. Beautiful. He's a certified agent too since 2021, and he's partnered with the one by Chris Gettings. Okay. So Zenner said he didn't like that fans booed Stafford in Detroit's playoff game with the Rams, but he's happy for the. Can I just say, I didn't know this was in the article, but the booing thing, just real quick, is so overblown. Think about it. You're at this game, you're juiced up to a 10 if you're a fan, and here comes Stafford on the field. You have two options. You're going to make noise. You want to make noise. You want to know that he knows. You're like, are you going to cheer, or are you going to do what you do to an opposing team, which would be boo? So it's like, hey, Stafford, love you, love everything that you did here, but just for this game, we got to boo you. Sorry, man. And it's going to be loud as can be. That's just what it is. Like, he gets it. I mean, Kelly Stafford thought they were booing her kids. That was weird. I like Matthew. Kelly, can't stand her. Just cannot. And just comes off weird. And she's got progressively worse too, right? So it started off like, man, she's great. This is so great. Like the Stafford family. And then it got to, she's a little annoying. Then she's always just saying things. And then she's got like her Instagram. If you ever see that, she's like doing ads on her own Instagram for money. It's like, Stafford makes $40 million a year, and she's doing like $1,000 ad. I don't know. It's just weird, but okay. Thanks for watching. See everybody on the next one.